Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 376 for the week of November 20th, 2018. My name is Ryan Higgins. I have my hands in front of my face so I cannot see Scott Shea mimicking every word I'm saying because he's weird like that. It really throws me off. My name is Ryan Higgins, and we're going to record a podcast here. To my left,
Brock Sager.
Scott J.
And Charlie.
Hello, everyone.
We're not all to his left. We did make a circle.
Yeah, just keep going left. You come back around eventually.
It's like it's like NASCAR.
To the left. To the left.
I'm just waiting for Ryan to get one of those little things people wear on planes so they can't see what everybody's doing.
It would help.
Horse,
Do I have to look
horse
at these guys
blinders. I don't want to look at them. I don't want to hear them.
I need a cool neck pillow and the blinders just so I can fall asleep.
Just go
during
straight
this
Ray
podcast. Yeah.
Don't you already fall asleep
Sleep
during this podcast?
during the whole podcast and not say anything. And just,
Only when Bryce is doing the outro.
yes, that's true. That's true. We have a bunch of news to talk about this week. Let's hit up some of this news. Too bad Bryce isn't here for this because I would love to get his view.
You're smiling like you don't care.
I don't know what that means.
He's smiling like this might actually break Bryce.
Uncanny X-Men just got relaunched with a new number 1. Oh, it's the Avengers thing we need to talk about. That's what it is. I'll get that up.
Sales charts?
I'll talk that too. Yeah. I have that up too. Sorry, a little pre-podcast talk here. Answering some pre-podcast talk. We have Uncanny X-Men number 1 just launched
Last week, yeah.
weekly through issue 10, at least until the new solicitation came out.
How much was issue 2?
It was $3.99, just regular cover price. We now know Uncanny X-Men is going to go through at least issue number 12, weekly for 12 issues.
So it went from 10 to 12.
Yep.
And then they're going to relaunch it.
Well, we don't know what they're going to do because seemingly after issue 12, we are getting 6 5-issue miniseries called Age of X-Man, very similar to the old Age of Apocalypse book. This Uncanny X-Men Disassembled is, I guess, a 12-issue miniseries.
Just a punch in the face. Hello, welcome back to the Uncanny X-Men. We're all excited. Oh, by the way, it's only 12 issues, and then we're going to start it over with a bunch of crap that nobody wants to read.
So we have...
Well, they just want to add more adjectives.
Oh, it's just the worst.
So we have...
Wait till we get to Avengers numbering.
The Marvelous X-Men with
That's so terrible.
Colossus with missing an arm and old, young Jean Grey and...
Old, young Jean Grey.
Yeah, she looks like young Jean Grey, but she's older. And Kitty Pryde with Wolverine, with 2 Wolverine claws and a mohawk.
Are you sure it's Kitty Pryde and not X-23?
I mean, it looks like Kitty Pryde. Written by Lonnie Nadler, with art by Marco Filala. We have Age of X-Man, which involves a lot of character. Oh no, these look like some of the kids. Those might be Goldball's balls. I forget what the what's his name. He's the big blob guy, not the blob. He's the big like see-through blob guy that's in like the new X-Men.
Yeah.
He's like, you can see a skeleton underneath.
Eyeballs.
Yep.
Yeah. By son of Bryce Larson, Ed Bryson, and Marcus Toe. You have, this looks like a Nightcrawler book, Age of X-Man, The Amazing Nightcrawler by Seanan McGuire. There is The Extremists, which feature a bunch of people in kind of black, leathery-looking things, as well as the Blob with a real just porn goatee, just a straight porno.
What pornos are you watching, buddy?
I'm not watching this porno, I'll tell you that. And Iceman's doing his best impression of like a I don't know, like some white supremacists or something like that, with the straps. I don't know. It's a bad look here.
When did Colossus lose his arm?
When did any of this happen to any of these characters? We have no idea. This is all coming out of X-Men. And then Age of X-Man, Prisoner X by Vita Ayala and German Peralta. With, that looks like Beast and Polaris and, let's go with the M, Bishop. So, and there's one more too. There's Age of X-Man, Apocalypse and the Extracts, with some thin-ass Apocalypse and a bunch of groovy psychedelic colors on this cover, and Kid Apocalypse as well. How can skinny hipster Apocalypse and Kid Apocalypse exist together? We don't know. That's by Tim Seeley and
Who are these
Salva
people?
Espin. It's a good question. I have no clue. After Disassembled, the Age of X-Man commences starting in January 2019. Marvelous X-Man, Next Gen as well. The Amazing Nightcrawler, The Extremist, Prisoner X, and Apocalypse and the Extracts. So some of those titles, I guess, may have changed because that's not the same list of books that are solicited here. But that's fine. So it seems like
they're trying to run everybody out of reading their stuff again.
They ended all the X-Men books to launch a 12-issue Uncanny X-Men to immediately go into, I
Age
guess,
of Apocalypse 2?
this, but it doesn't. Well, it's Age of X-Man, and so if you
X-Man
assume
is Nate Gray.
that nobody gives two fucking tosses about.
Wait, I like Nate Gray.
But do you care?
I was a huge fan of Nate Gray.
Do you care
I'm
ending
the #1 Nate Gray fan.
Do you care ending every current
You got rid of your
X-Men book,
X-Men books.
relaunching Uncanny X-Men, and having 6 miniseries replacing to find out what Nate Gray's into?
I didn't want
miniseries.
They're all 5-issue miniseries. Yeah,
I didn't want X-Men Red, and X-Men Black, and X-Men Gold, and X-Men Blue. I didn't want all those either. I just want the Uncanny X-Men, and you can give me the Astonishing X-Men also. Thank you. That's enough.
What about just flat X-Men?
No. There's never been just has there ever been a regular just X-Men?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Not a
that's what it
thing.
called before during the Jim Lee Claremont run. That's what it was called. It was just called.
Oh, that's right.
It was just called X-Men. Yeah, before
That's where we got the blue and gold.
Yeah.
No. Let's not bring that up.
Well, you have to wonder if something is going on because at the same time, Marvel. I'm going to read this as it's written on Bleeding Cool. Rich Johnson, I'm stealing your words. I'm very sorry.
Well, no, you're quoting him, so you're fine.
Last week, Marvel Comics published Avengers issue number 10. All right. But it also had the
700.
legacy number 700, and they made a big deal about it. But the new Avengers solicitation for February 2019 are weird. We have Avengers 14 and 15, which we presume will be legacy numbered as 704 and 705. But it also lists the start of a weekly Avengers series called Avengers No Road Home by Jim Zub. Charlie's interested.
Yeah.
With number 1 being specifically legacy numbered as Avengers 708. Avengers No Road Home number 2 is Avengers 709, and number 3 is Avengers 710. Jim Zub on Twitter says, No Road Home will be counted as part of the Avengers legacy numbering. There's a 10-issue gap in Jason Aaron's Avengers legacy numbering where our story fits in. So Avengers 706 and 707 will be Avengers 16 and 17 by Jason Aaron, published in March. Before Road to Nowhere will be Avengers 708, published in February.
So Ryan's saying all these words, and about 2 in, I just totally zoned out.
See, I'm just listening to this going, so it's basically the rush to 800.
So what I would like to see
In
Ryan,
April-
this is what I want to see. Are you ready for this? I want to see Memento-style numbering. I want
Backwards?
I want the legacy numbering, the regular numbering. Let's say they have Avengers 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, but the legacy numbers are 707, 706, 705, 704 in that order. And that'll really mess up everybody trying to sort their comics.
Well, what he says here is really confusing. He says, in April, issue 18 of Avengers will be Avengers 718, and 717 will be published after that? Which I don't...
Words are just coming out of your mouth, and I need more ginkgo biloba.
And nobody knows what that is.
Brain strengthening drug.
Why the hell just make these 10 issues of Avengers?
That would be too simple.
It feels to me like...
Screw you, collectors. We don't need to number your comics. You don't need to sort them.
You don't sort your comics anyway.
I just give them back to you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, so
Make me do it.
So yes, if Avengers 15 is number 705, why is Avengers No Road Home 708? So 706 and 707 will be published after the book. Like,
So it sounds
Memento.
to me like what they're trying to do
Memento.
is they want to count these as actual Avengers books, not offshoots, not West Coast, but
New, uncanny,
main
all new, all different.
main Avengers titles. But they also don't want to interrupt the run. It's the
So why don't they just make it 706, 707, and then Jason Aaron stuff picks up after it?
that's what I think they should do. There's absolutely no
because
reason.
what they're saying is this stuff takes place after what Aaron has planned for the next however many issues.
It's so weird. I'm just wondering why.
I think that's just a lame excuse.
Yeah, I think so too. And he's taking like a 3-month break out of nowhere. I mean, maybe to catch up. I have no idea what's going on, but it just at that point, just hiatus the book. Call this Avengers No More Road, or what did I call it? What the hell did I call it? No Road Home. Just call it
Avengers FML.
And just issue it, number it issue 1 to 10, and then pick back up with the regular numbering. Putting the legacy numbering as part of the number of the main series, that's crazy talk. There's absolutely no reason to do that. So
It's stupid.
this is
I'm telling you, essentially,
I
this
look
is
at
what
it
happened.
is-
Memento was on HBO like 3 months ago. One of these guys saw it and was like, yes, we're doing this.
yeah.
No, I consider this just
crazy.
by including the legacy numbering, it's basically to tell collectors, this counts. You need to buy this. This isn't a miniseries you can ignore. And that's all they're basically doing.
But it's so annoying, though.
Oh, it's absolutely annoying.
So
But-
annoying.
They're trying to basically give it some legitimacy so people don't gloss over it as just a random Avengers miniseries.
Yeah. We got some other comic news to talk about. I'm sure we'll have more of that once those issues actually start coming out.
When they're amazing and all we want to talk about is how great they are.
Oh, man, Age of X-Man was so good. It's my favorite Marvel
I
comic
can't
of the year.
wait to actually be excited about it, but I just...
Oh, I've already signed you all up on the hub. # love the hub. I already signed you all up, Scott. If you buy Uncanny X-Men #1, you're getting all the Age of X books. So
Yes. I will buy them all.
I love how on our private Facebook group for the podcast, Bryce is like, "What the hell?" I mean, I'll buy them all, but what the hell?
I'll buy them all, but I don't have to like it.
Right. So this is actually really cool. Hold on. Let's start with a different news story. DC canceled the Before Batman Detective Comics hardcover release.
Slipcase.
Double omnibus. A double omnibus. If there's a more Charlie book, I don't know. A double omnibus. It's so big. So Before Batman was an omnibus, 2 omnibus, collecting Detective Comics 1 through 26. That other issue, Detective Comics 27, may be an issue you're aware of because that's the first appearance of Batman. We don't know exactly why they canceled it. Most people assume it's because of the, let's say, somewhat racist overtones of some of the portrayals of specifically Asian people in those books, but there may be other stuff as well. It's just very stereotypical of the time.
Yeah.
Or typical of the time.
I'm sure there's a bat tick in them.
Oh, geez, maybe. Now, here's the weird thing. Detective Comics #1, as far as I know, is going to be reprinted in the 80th anniversary of Detective Comics hardcover that's coming out, which is one of the issues in question that has the questionable content. So they made a big deal about this omnibus, and they're canceling it. Just, for me, it's like just the ability to have those issues now permanently archived in a physical collection is so important. And the fact that they canceled it is crazy.
So there's 2 things.
And do you know at all, like, the sales?
No, they wouldn't tell
Yeah,
us.
I know.
I have
And
to
that-
assume they were minimal. Now, the email I wrote to DC, to my rep at DC, I said, I'm really disappointed. My initial orders were not high, but once we got info on the Detective Comics 1000 issue, my plan was to offer a set of that plus the anniversary hardcover plus Detective Comics 1000 set. And I definitely would have had people that would have gone for the whole bundle, because that's
So we do with Action, and it worked really well.
right. So there is no before Superman in Action Comics. So I'm really disappointed in DC for canceling this. They've had a number of high profile cancellations of graphic novels recently.
They've just had a lot of cancellations, period.
Of graphic novels,
Graphic novels, like merchandise, like...
Couple. Now, the reason I bring this up is because DC announced they're going to do a Joker omnibus. It's going to include the never-before-printed Joker issue number 10 from the 1970s Joker comic. Yeah, it was on comic for a very short time.
I have number 1, but I don't think I have number 10.
No one has number 10. It was never printed.
There you go.
Yeah, the never-before-published Joker number 10.
So I don't have it.
Now,
I think I might have it.
I'm very hopeful for this book to come out, because it also includes a lot of other issues of Batman from issues 251 to 400, a handful of issues of Brave and the Bold, Detective Comics from 475 to 532. Not all those, just the Joker issues in there. Wonder Woman 280 to 283, Detective Comics presents 41 and 72, as well as more. Now, is this book going to actually happen? Who knows?
I hope so. I have a hardcover of the best Joker stories ever told or something at home, and I didn't compare the list, but I'm assuming that most of what's in that hardcover is in this omnibus. Plus,
I think a couple of them. It's a really cool collection, and I'm very hopeful that this actually happens. But with the cancellation of that Before Batman book, I got to kind of put everything in question for these big hardcovers. Now, DC does keep, obviously, most of what they solicit does actually come out, but it's so disappointing that hardcover is getting canceled. I really wanted that, just for an archival perspective. It's so important.
Well, it's interesting that they would pull it because of questionable content. I feel like there's two parts of me when we talk about that. The first part is, and again, as a majority, a white male in the United States, look, I don't know. Nobody's ever tried to keep me down, except for Brock. He tries to keep me down all the time.
And it works.
Doubtful. But the second thing is just maybe a commentary. This was out. This was the awareness and the culture of the time, and not our views today, and not something that we like to share. But I feel like it's purposeful in its content. It's like
what?
It's like, look, if you're interested in taking down a Robert E. Lee statue in the South, why?
Well, it is different. A lot of those were put up decades after. The
way I look at it is through a very Doctor Who lens. Because
here we go.
I've watched all of classic Doctor Who, and there's absolutely times that the content in there is progressive and looking forward, and then there's other times the female's companions told to go serve people coffee. It goes both ways. There can be very racist things in one episode and very progressive things in another episode. But as a sort of completionist, as a person who sort of respects the medium and everything, being able to acknowledge that there are things that are products of the time, and even being able to, as you say, put a forward in the book or something that talks about at the time there were various things that don't reflect our views now, but this is where it all, there is something to be said by not hiding the way things were there, because it also desensitizes people to feel like you hear stories of when things were that way, but kids don't see that nowadays. They don't see...
The gold standard example that I use when this comes up is if you ever had those Disney, Mickey and Donald, the tin collections of DVDs that came out back in the late 90s. Leonard Maltin did the introduction for all those videos, and in many of them, he said there are things in these early episodes that were although standard at the time or considered very, controversial or not up to the standards of how we would treat people today, you have to view these through the lens of what they are. They were made at a specific time, and these were very acceptable caricatures of the time. However, it no longer represents the Disney company or Mickey Mouse as a whole.
Right.
Keep that in mind when watching them. They've done this with the Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes cartoons of the 40s, where they don't release them often, but when they have, there's been like, hey, look, these are just. We understand that there was controversy about these now, but
didn't DC also cancel the Shazam thing for the same reasons?
Again, we don't know why they canceled it, but yes, that's why they canceled it. It's really disappointing. And I don't like that because there's no way to get those books otherwise.
Well, I think what's really sad is I mean, we still live in an era where we teach things that utilize that type of language and that type of rhetoric of the time. I mean, if you go through and you read, like, what is it, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, but they're always trying to...
They're always trying to knock it.
But yeah, plenty of people are trying to get rid of that stuff. So yeah, no, I mean, this is not exclusive to this. There is a weird editing of the past that you shouldn't praise it because of the actions or the attitudes of the people in the book, but you should still be able to appreciate it for what it is and say, wow, this is kind of screwed up, but I still don't want to see it disappear.
Right.
I don't know.
But again, even the screw up doesn't offend me. Like, from a cultural, I mean, it offends me from a cultural standpoint, but it is not.
It doesn't offend you personally.
I mean, well, and this isn't like some dark secret.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows about these comics. I mean, if you go back and even go back to like early internet days of Super Dickery, where they were like, people were like discovering all those old Golden Age Superman comics where he's a fucking asshole, all these crazy ass covers of Superman books. I mean, this is no one is surprised by any of this. This is not new or shocking. Everyone knows all this stuff. It always existed.
The thing is you're losing out on the history also of these characters and the development of how far we've come, like what we've learned, how we've grown, like how we've matured, how we've bettered ourselves, with this content.
Yeah, there's not,
but when it comes down to it, we're not the ones that it affects. Right. So I will stand by the decision that they choose to make because I'm not the one that it affects.
So
I'm the majority, and I'm not the one that is.
But that's
so
DC. DC
point,
pulls them back. DC pulls.
But your
this
voice
stuff.
Doesn't matter either. You, me, Charlie, Brock, we're all the same.
The companies don't release this content because they're afraid of crazy social media blowback. I don't think the offended the people that are being most people would not care. People that want to stir up shit care.
The way I look at this, and I mean, this is partly because it gives me hope and partly just because I'm a realist. I think right now, DC is very much in we cannot afford bad publicity space. I mean, there's been a lot of articles online about how new leadership took over, then the Batman Damn #1 came out, and it was like big controversy in like day one. I think at this point, if they want to say we're going to delay anything that could kind of create a blowback, especially while people are finding their footing, it kind of makes sense to me. That kind of leaves me with some level of hope that a cancellation now does not mean that we won't see a resolicitation later. I think they just want to be a little more careful and look a little more carefully at what they release, because I guarantee you they might be able to survive Batman Damn #1, but various people, if they want to keep their job, need to be a little more careful right now.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I can be disappointed at the time.
Yeah.
Right, because you want because you're not going to get an original copy of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's just not going to happen.
And you're not getting it for that reason. You're getting it because it's before Batman. It's history. It's archival.
This is like the Kirby Fourth World Omnibus, like the Silver Age DC stuff. these are cool books that
Yeah. So
I'm never going to track down myself. And
I got the king size Kirby book a long time ago now, and one of the things that had me excited in there was I obviously wasn't going to sit down and be like, I want to read romance comics.
yeah.
But it was kind of neat having Kirby romance comics in any collection nowadays.
Yeah. We can move on. We're still talking solicitations here. We had a solicitation for a new issue of Superman coming up. Superman number 8 by Brian Michael Bendis, Ivan Rice. Oh, variant covered by Rob Liefeld. I missed that part. Oof, I'll take a big skip on that one.
Question about this.
Yeah. Superman?
I'm behind.
Okay.
We were talking before, and I am a good 4 months behind in reading. Maybe 3.
So 3.5?
Has Brian Michaels stuff been good?
Yeah. I really like Superman action. Yep. Mm-hmm. I think so.
Very different
How so,
from like the Tomasi and that stuff that was going on before. Like he definitely kind of is deconstructing the Clark Lois John relationship. Like the events that have happened in this book don't feel like they're connected to what happened before in a lot of ways. Like
Right.
you can't really see like the characters that were around in Tomasi's book making some of the choices they're making now in
there's definitely
this book.
there's a gap in like the progress. Like this feels like something that happened maybe down the road from the Tomasi stuff, but it's butted up right against it, so it feels a little awkward.
Well, you had Man of Steel. I mean, you had the miniseries.
But even in Man of Steel, the sending John on with Jor-El, when last time we saw Jor-El was...
Yeah.
There's a very weird disconnect to a lot of this.
Yeah.
And
I've heard from people that aren't fans of this run so far, especially because they are fans of the John and Lois stuff, and I am too. But I don't mind if she wants to do something different with them for a little while.
No, I found it weird
Lois
when Lois came back, even, and the way they handled Lois coming back was very that was very unexpected for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, more unexpected, I think, is the return of Jonathan Kent. He's coming back.
Nice segue, by the way.
He looks a little older, definitely super teen now, less Superboy. And damn if he isn't looking a little Superboy Prime-ish.
You shut your face.
Really?
You shut your face.
Okay, that would be pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. If Jonathan Kent ended up being Superboy Prime,
I don't need Jonathan Kent to be Superboy Prime.
No, but how cool would that be?
We don't need Superboy Prime, period.
But what if this is Superboy Prime posing as Jonathan Kent?
Fucking A.
I've been traveling with Grandpa because he reads the comics. He knows what's going on, right? Superboy Prime is from our Earth.
Superboy Prime just needs to go away.
Oh, dude, fucking Superboy Prime follows Ethan Van Sciver on Twitter. He's back with the QAnon comic. Like he's on YouTube.
I don't need this in my comics.
on the diversity in comics. Actually, I need to tweet this right now.
I hate that kid.
I need to tweet this right now. Ryan's live tweeting on the show.
I will in a second when we get once one of you talk. I'm totally going to tweet that. No.
I don't understand how you like this character.
Superboy Prime?
Yeah.
He's fucking incredible.
He's the worst.
Exactly. He's incredible.
Wait, Brock, is this the first time that you've not agreed with Ryan? Who are you?
No, Ryan.
Are you Superboy Prime?
No, Ryan and I have had a long-standing, complete polar opposite of our idea of what Superboy Prime is. He's a garbage character that should have just been left to
he's the Deadpool of DC.
No,
he breaks the fourth wall.
No, he's worse.
Same thing. It's Deadpool, Superboy Prime.
No,
it's all the same.
No. Superboy Prime is
don't Deadpool like that.
Superboy Prime, when he first showed up, was whatever. I mean his first appearance in Crisis, he was okay. It's Infinite Crisis. It's what is it? Yeah, Infinite Crisis. Yeah. I'm getting my crises confused in my head.
You got the crises right.
He is goddamn genius in Infinite Crisis. He is a nightmare in Infinite Crisis. And then when Johns uses him in all the Black Knight stuff, and oh my god, and Sinestro Corps stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He is terrifying. Okay. I love Superboy Prime.
Yeah,
He got
trapped in back in on our Earth or wherever, Prime Earth or whatever, reading the comic books, which is where he needs to stay.
Yeah, last I know, again, I'm calling it. I'm calling it right here. Superman 8, that's Superboy Prime. That's not John Kent. I'm calling it here. You heard it here first.
It's garbage. You're only going to get the Liefeld covers.
You heard it here first.
The regular covers on
you're only getting the Liefeld
covers. That's like
they're
salt in the fucking wound,
They're going to
man.
sell out, and you're only going to be able to get the Liefeld covers.
It's so bad.
Gross.
Why in the name of God is...
That's okay. I'll buy the Leafel cover.
No.
Yes, I will. You will order me a copy.
Okay. I mean, you know he's been doing a ton of variant covers for Marvel recently.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Dude sells comics.
No way. He does not. That's a lie.
Hey, he just sold a comic on this podcast.
There are
Charlie doesn't buy very many singles.
There are legit fans. I'm not one, but
I mean, so I will say this: I am much more likely to buy a Liefeld cover if it's of Cable. I like the way he draws Cable and X-Force and all that because that's what I always think of when I think of him. I'm not a uber fan. He was not a selling point when he was writing and drawing various DC comics in New 52. But when you have him drawing in the sort of classic style that I kind of grew up reading, I will always buy it. When he did the Deadpool OGN a few years ago now, I loved that book. That was a great book. So there you go.
So we're going to move us some movie and TV talk here.
Let's get it done.
Venom.
I still haven't seen it.
What?
Officially has outgrossed every X-Men movie, including Deadpool and Deadpool 2.
No.
Yeah.
Venom has outgrossed both Deadpool movies?
Thanks to its second week in China, it is now over 780 million. It is closing in on 800 million worldwide.
No. Why?
Yep.
Look, guys, it's terrible.
It's amazing.
Why? Yeah, but it's amazing.
It is so
terrible.
bad it's good.
But Deadpool was actually good.
It's almost to the point where it's outgrossed all the Spider-Man movies.
Yep.
Oh, God,
it's getting close. Now, Deadpool 2 has a chance if they count the PG-13 reissue of Deadpool 2.
Oh, that trailer looks so amazing.
So hilarious.
As the same movie. I don't know if they do.
Deadpool?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't see how they could. But
I don't know what they do.
I've only seen the Fred Savage trailer.
that is the
so
trailer.
good. It's so good.
It is
so
funny.
amazing.
Because
they basically just went back, filmed a couple of new scenes. Ryan Reynolds literally said, "I'll do it, but you have to let me kidnap Fred Savage."
I can't believe that Venom. The frustrating part of it is yes, I watched it and I loved it because it was bad, but I loved it because it was bad, and it shouldn't make this much money. No.
It is the third highest grossing superhero movie in China, only behind Age of Ultron and Infinity War.
Wait, Age of Ultron made more than Infinity War?
It doesn't say what order they were in. So,
and I blame you, Scott.
It just makes me vomit.
Well, you don't love X-Men enough, apparently. People love that Venom.
I love my Deadpool. I went to see it twice.
We're very close to the release of
Aquaman.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have an Aquaman episode here, right? If everything goes according to plan, a little Christmas bonus for everyone should drop on December 25th, our Aquaman episode.
Yeah.
So while you're ignoring your family, you can listen to us talk about Aquaman for 3.5 hours.
Only 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
Unless it's awful, and then we'll be
6 hours.
6 minutes.
No,
if it's awful, it's longer.
Going to be the first DC one without Bryce here.
If we all like it, it's pretty quick. If it's half and half, it goes on for a very long time.
See, I feel like if it's to a point that if it's bad, like all the rest of them, I'm just going to come on here and go, nah, it's not good.
Wonder Woman? Justice League?
Wonder Woman was good.
Yeah.
Justice League was fun.
Okay.
Not
so
good.
It's not bad like all of them. And I mean, obviously, I'm going to defend the
if
others, but
I
don't
feel
know
like
about
if
you.
sometimes
I thought you liked BVS enough and Man of Steel. I don't think you hated any of the DC ones.
No, I did not.
Yeah, so what the hell are you talking about?
They were fine.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't leave them like I leave some of the Marvel ones going, wow, that was pretty outstanding.
Like you left Venom.
Ant-Man and Wasp. Venom is just a different feeling. It leaves you with, you feel dirty. You feel wronged.
Did you have to take a shower?
You take a shower and you're like, well, I kind of liked that. Maybe I'll go back again.
You didn't want to like it, but you have. You have.
I'd use other... This is a family-friendly program. Otherwise, I'd use another analogy, but I'm not going to.
Well, Aquaman is out December 21st. However, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can currently get tickets for a exclusive showing. I believe it's all from AMC's on December 15th, which is just about a week prior on that Saturday. Unfortunately, it is literally like the only day that I have something going on, so I cannot go to that early show. I don't know if Charlie, I think you and Toby are debating.
Yeah, we're debating. I probably have to decide very, very soon.
Yeah. So, but I will be seeing it with all the plebes on December 21st. So, please keep spoiler light if you can. But that's cool. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can grab early tickets, and they don't seem to be assigned seating, so I'm assuming it's just first come, first serve. Because I actually did go in and look at the tickets, and I realized what the date was, and I was like, oh crap, I can't do this. But I think it was the 29th, if I'm correct. I want to say next Thursday. Maybe it's 26th? That was 29th. But next week, the social media reviews for Aquaman go up, so they can be one tweet, limited Facebook post, so a very short review.
So it could be like dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of
You could.
emojis.
Yeah, you could.
Just an emoji
Fish,
of a
fish, dumpster fire, fish.
And I don't know if maybe they're because they're
Smiling.
They're dropping those Aquaman reviews.
Yeah, you drop after I say shit.
The review embargoes are really early. It's let me pull it up here. So Monday, November 26th. With the full reviews are on Tuesday, December 11th. Now that coming Tuesday, December 11th, that's a week and a couple days prior to the official release of the movie. They only release reviews that early if the movie's if they think it's going to be really well reviewed. Because what do if the reviews are bad? They dump them the last day, at the last second, so no one can see the reviews before the movie's out. So that is a very promising, at least hopefully Warner Brothers is on the money with this. That's very promising for the quality of Aquaman. And I've just broken down. I don't care anymore. I did watch that third trailer, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like
the long one?
No, the one that just came out yesterday.
Okay.
Nope.
Or Monday.
Yeah, I'm
You're
out. I'm out.
It does look good. It looks really good.
It's that rooftop scene, man.
It's really good. All of it looks good.
It's giving us what we wanted from more of Wonder Woman. More rooftop running.
Yeah, no, it looks really, really good. 2 TV things to talk about. For some reason, ABC renewed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a 7th season.
Well,
okay.
They did
Whatever.
it because contracts were up and they had to make a call before the new season even airs. Why they decided to renew it, I don't necessarily know, but I know they had to make a decision now rather than waiting till the new season airs.
Yeah. I mean, cool, I guess.
So you're telling us they're not ending it with season 6?
It's still happening.
Yeah, it got renewed for season 7 after season 6.
So they haven't even aired season 6.
No, they haven't even started airing season 6.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Well, I mean, good for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans. I don't know why they're still on the air. You guys, people can yell at me about how long Arrow's going on, but S.H.I.E.L.D.'s going on just as fucking long. So,
Are you excited about the new Gotham? Have you watched the next trailer?
No, I know. I've been off Gotham. I mean, this is the end. I saw the Scarecrow one, though.
It looks pretty good.
It does look okay, but no, I can't.
Okay? I think it looks pretty outstanding.
I'm so
Well, they released
Gotham.
Riddler and Penguin outfit photos.
Well, I mean, the way they ended last season in Gotham, since I am still watching Gotham, I'm always behind and then catch up over the summer at this point, but was they're kind of building up to the whole No Man's Land and that kind of stuff with the way that it ended.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Is it going to end with No Man's Land? Just going to end with a giant earthquake? And they're like, show's over.
Well, no,
this is the last season, right?
Yes, this is the last season, but the way it ended is exactly like No Man's Land. Basically, Gotham's completely cut off. There is no law, and that's why they're doing the whole different people staking the ground. And
Dark Knight rises from the ashes of Gotham.
How old's that kid now? Like 30?
Yeah, you're correct.
He's so wrong.
Does he look older and younger than Dick Grayson on Titans?
I've not seen Titans. How many episodes are there?
he still looks younger.
7 comes out this week.
But that being said, to me, it's all about Alfred.
Yeah.
We getting that Alfred show?
Apparently.
Sweet.
Well, I wasn't referring
They've
to the
cast a bunch
Alfred
of
show. I was referring to Alfred in Gotham.
He's been good.
He's also the son of a doctor.
So I had a
You knew that, right?
a normal.
Yeah.
So one of my normals, he collected comics at one point, but he doesn't anymore.
So he's a pseudo-normal?
He's a kind of a pseudo-normal. He calls me the other day and he's like, "Hey, so I'm thinking about going to see Venom. Should I go?" And I'm like, "Well, I liked it, but I liked it because it was really bad." He's like, "Damn it. Is my kid going to like it?" I'm like, "Your kid
Hey, kids are going to love it.
it."
Yeah.
You'll be the coolest dad ever.
But there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, wasn't it just straight PG-13? There's no blood. There's no
nothing.
I mean, just like Deadpool.
Some scare, but that's it.
No, not like he wouldn't let his son see Deadpool.
Well, no, I'm talking about Deadpool's about to be PG-13.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
We have a casting.
I feel like some of the jokes might be funnier.
If you're a kid.
No, for
PG-13.
yeah, just because I feel like Ryan Reynolds is going to go out of his way to just sell in like the 3 scenes. The extra 3 scenes. It's like normally we would be doing this here, but because it's PG-13, you're going to see this.
We have a Supergirl casting for the. I don't know if it's going to be in the crossover or not, but we have our Lex Luthor.
Yeah, John Cryer.
That's a very weird choice.
Like
Such an odd casting.
I can.
With hair or without hair?
I don't know.
Oh, he's always without hair now. I can kind of see it.
Yeah,
But who is he in Superman 4? He's like, isn't he Lex's like nephew or something? Is that
John Cryer?
Yeah, he's in Superman 4.
He was?
Yeah. Go look him up. This picture
Damn
of him
it.
is amazing. Yeah, he's in Superman 4. I think he plays Lex's nephew.
You have a computer in front of you?
Well, Scott's going to look it up so we can see the picture. So again, they're taking people that have been in previous Superman stuff and putting him in the Supergirl show, which is awesome. It is a little bit weird, but there's something about comedians when they play like kind of serious or villainous roles. They're almost scarier. There he is. Yep. Punk ass John Cryer. So I almost wonder if he's going to play it like super scary ass Lex, and I think he can do it. It's not the first person I would have ever in a million years thought as Lex, but he's a good actor, so I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt. I'm hopeful. We'll see. I mean, Supergirl's been so good, and the crossover's been great. The crossover will be great. I'm so excited for the crossover. But this is a weird casting, but I'm going to go with it, and yeah. I don't know if you guys feel any different.
I just like all of the troll kids these days that now only know John Cryer from 2.5 Men and don't know that he was Ducky.
Fucking Ducky, man.
Fucking Ducky.
Oh, he was in Hot Shots, too. Yeah.
Oh, the joy.
Yep.
Oh, the joy.
And there was one last piece of news I forgot to talk about when we were talking about our movie stuff. We don't have a ton of info.
Yeah.
But we do have a name and a date. And I don't know if this is actually what they're going to call the movie. I suppose it's very possible. But this is how they're promoting it. It is The Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. February 7th, 2020. That last part, I'm not 100% sure if that's actually going to be in the title of the movie. I suppose it could be. That's pretty funny. But, yeah, Birds of Prey films. I mean, it's filming, or it's about to start filming. They've cast everyone. It's really soon. That's a year and change. That is crazy fast. But we have Aquaman coming. We have Shazam and Joker next year. So we're going to get Birds of Prey. How are we getting Birds of Prey before Wonder Woman 2? That seems impossible. But we're going to get Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman in 2020. Crazy times. Crazy times.
According to IMDb, it's still listed as Birds of Prey.
Well, yeah. I don't know if that's exactly what they're going to end up calling the movie, but that's how they're promoting it, and that's what's written on the script thing, and it looked like
the script thing.
The script. Warner Brothers tweeted out a picture of the script, and that was the script of it. That was the title of it. Yeah. And that is going to be it for our big news.
I did watch some Titans though.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do a couple questions. We can talk about the Titans for a second. I think we're going to talk briefly about Mr. Miracle 12.
Are we doing sales charts?
Oh yeah, my sales charts.
Damn it! I didn't cheat.
Thank God.
You just gave me some lead time.
Brock,
on the phone.
You have been catching up on. And don't cheat. You've been catching up on. You started watching Titans.
Okay, for those of you that are just listening and you can't see Ryan's face, he just shot me the dirtiest.
Yeah,
look.
don't fucking cheat.
What if I like looking at the sales charts?
So look at it after I give you the numbers.
Don't cheat.
Yeah.
So Titans, yes, I've watched 5 episodes, and I must say that I've been enjoying it. It's been really good.
Yeah.
The whole Starfire still photo shot. Yeah, they should never have released that. That was just horrid.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's a weird one.
It works completely in the context of the show. Was it? The whole F Batman line, right, works in context of what's going on.
I think so.
So when they did the trailer, I was like, yeah, no, that's not where you need to do this.
Yeah.
I've liked that they've really incorporated fairly quickly, like just other characters in the DC universe, like Hawk and Dove was really well done. Doom Patrol was really well done. They've had nods here and there throughout the show to tying to other stuff. So, I think the only thing that's really awkward for me is the whole Beast Boy's naked when he's transforming.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know. It's just weird. I get it, but at the same time, it's just weird. So, but no, I've been enjoying it. Now, would I pay monthly to get? No.
Hell yes, I do. That's all right. It's good though.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, I'm caught up with all the current episodes. Man, Jason Todd, what a fucking asshole. You haven't seen the Jason Todd episode yet. No. So he comes in at the last episode.
He came in with the last episode.
You're up to that episode, Charlie?
So they did a good job. So the fact that you hate him this much means they did a great job.
He is a prick. Yeah. Oh.
Because he was always the worst.
Oh, he's just a fucking D-bag in this. He's a millennial fucking asshole in this. Like, he's just the worst.
Is anybody going to like him? Or is he
you're supposed to hate him. He sort of comes around a little bit throughout the course of the episode, but he is just a prick in this episode. It's perfect. It's actually perfect. They do a great job with him. You just love to hate him so much. Titans is
what I can say about it is it's made me kind of excited for Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like just how they've given us this and Doom Patrol in it, and I'm actually pretty excited for all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's all different groups of people working on it, but I got high hopes. Titans is it's kind of on another level. I'm pretty blown away by it. I thought I had my top comic TV show picks kind of slotted in for the end of the year. I don't know. My numbers are all my numbers.
Oh, we got to do our list.
Yeah, you guys got the dates already scheduled. You don't have that much time left. I I did. However, you notice how I did make sure we record after Aquaman, though. So, of course, end of the year.
Yeah, because you're automatically going to put it on your list.
It's a DC movie.
I have an estimated slot.
You're like, even if you didn't watch it, you would be like, Aquaman is my number one, and I just watched the trailer.
I have an estimated top 3. I think I know what my top 3 is going to be movie-wise. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be my favorite movie of the year.
We'll see what happens.
Give us a little sneak peek.
Is your phone, Scott?
I'm not cheating.
Okay. October 2018.
Infinity War.
What? That's not a comic book. Infinity Wars. Top 10 comics for October 2018.
Sold
like I already said.
to
Catwoman.
comic
Sold-
stores in the United States.
Estimated sales to comic book stores in the United States. No Catwoman.
What?
Catwoman in the top 10.
Even with that art germ?
Yeah, no.
Damn.
No, it's good though. Catwoman's number 14. That's pretty solid spot for Catwoman.
I tried to go outside the box with my first pick. Batman.
Of course.
Yeah, Batman's on there. Both
Now, without a Marvel book and 90 variants clogging up the top of the sales charts, we're back to where we should be. Batman number 56 is the number 1 book at 107,000 units. Now, Batman number 57 is the number 4 book at 95,000. That's quite a drop.
I feel like 107 is solid.
Batman 56... Number 56 variant. What's the 56 variant cover? Oh, it's the Francisco Mattina variant. That's why. Yeah, it's going to draw a few extra copies. So, what's the 57 variant?
It wasn't a Mattina cover.
So, it's number 1. Oh, no, the 57 variant's really good, too. Yeah, it's the Mattina cover, too. Huh, I have no idea. Anyway, Batman 56, number 1. Batman number 57 is the number 4 book.
Heroes in Crisis.
Heroes in Crisis. Now, there's something weird about this. Heroes of Crisis number 2 is the number 6 book at 88,000. That's way lower than I would expect.
Wait, 6 is 88,000?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that's really low for Heroes in Crisis.
Well, though, that's just a dip in general for the top 10. Normally, the top 10 skirt higher than...
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, so kind of weird. That's way lower than I would have expected.
That's for number 2?
Yeah, I thought it would have been way higher. But, what are you going to do?
So, what do we got so far?
Got 1, 4, and what did I say? 1, 4, and 6.
Doomsday
What else do you like?
Die.
No Doomsday Clock in there. No. No Doomsday Clock. That probably would have been number 1.
Walking Dead Day?
came out.
Anything from that in there?
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
nice,
Walking Dead Day. Walking Dead number 1, the 50th anniversary edition at 106,000 copies. Now, keep in mind, stores like ourselves were able to order 500 copies with our store exclusive cover, and that is included in these numbers. So, many stores did that, so that represents probably a good chunk of the sales. But yes, Walking Dead number 1, 50th anniversary edition is the number 2 comic of the month at 106,000 copies.
Welcome back to the top 10.
Yeah. Walking Dead's usually pretty.
Look,
Yeah.
when Walking Dead is Walking Dead.
Walking Dead 184 is the number 18 book at 60,000. So no, it's still doing good. And I think the reprint. Where is Walking Dead? Let me find it here.
Was 16 was the J. Scott Campbell?
17.
17.
So number 1 and 19. I'm sorry, 19. 1 and 19 were basically right at 30,000 copies each at the number 78 and 79 spot. Those are the top of the blind bag ones. But they all are on here with 13,000, I think, being the lowest one for issue 98. So that's a lot of copies of Walking Dead.
Batman Damned didn't come out in October, did it?
Nope. So we're missing 10 and 9.
even
Same
then-
10 and 9, same character, same company, obviously same company, same book. Issues 7 and 8 of a series, both sold 83,000
Spider-Man?
copies. Amazing Spider-Man, number 7 and 8.
Ding, ding, ding. I didn't
number
even
9
have to
and
cheat
10
to get that
books.
one.
Now, this is another weird one. Split in the chart here. One, it's 2 books, same book. 2 issues. One's in the top 10, one's not. One's number 8, and one is number 13. That's a pretty big drop.
8 and 13.
So this would be issue number 10 of this series. It's got 2 issues out this month. It's a pretty
Justice
popular
League.
book. Justice League, number
Good
10,
one, Brock.
is a number 8 book at 84,000. Yeah, number 9 is the number 13 book at 72,000. That's quite a drop.
Well, 9 didn't start. The Drowned Earth started with 10.
You know what? I didn't even think about it. It's the foil covers. That's right. 10 was the foil and 56 was the foil.
Yep.
I wasn't thinking about that. That's what the difference is. Mm-hmm. That makes more sense now. Okay.
Happens.
Number 7. You think with a movie in the theaters they would have put out something special for this, but nope. It's just the book.
Aquaman.
Venom.
Venom. Number 7 is the number 7 book at 87,000 copies.
They didn't put anything out special because they thought the movie was going to be a piece of crap.
They did have the annual, which was 75,000 copies of the number 12 spot, which had that awesome Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Beautiful cover. That's a really good numbers for an annual, too, by the way.
They just thought it was going to be the biggest load of duty ever.
Who cares? Just put out big stuff. Doesn't matter if it's crap or not.
Man, it's been so long since October.
Okay, number 5. It's a Marvel book. It's a number 1.
Mr. and Mrs.
What? The Mr. and Mrs. X?
How many months ago was that number 1?
6 months ago.
That was number 1 6 months ago? What number are they on now?
They're all the 5
This is how far behind I am.
This month. Okay.
Was it the Return of Wolverine?
It's a character you all hate.
Gwenpool.
Close. They got a
Spider-Gwen.
rename for the series. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 1 is the number 5 book at 88,000 copies. Tying in with Spider-Geddon. And Spider-Geddon is the number 3 book. Spider-Geddon number 1. I was just done with this. I'm just ready to move on. At 104,000 copies. So Batman, Walking Dead, Spider-Geddon, Batman, Spider-Gwen, Heroes in Crisis, Venom, Justice League, Amazing Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man. The Return of Wolverine, number 11. So, sorry, Return of Wolverine. Yeah. Oh, and Catwoman 4 also would have had the foil cover. So that's, again. Infinity Wars number 4 is the number 16 book. Oof. That's lower than I would have expected.
Well, so you were saying about the low numbers.
Yeah, so X-Men Black Emma Frost number 1 is the number 23rd book. That's a pretty good number for that, too. That cover, love that cover. So we don't have a ton of giant new launches clogging up the top of the charts with the ridiculous numbers. So these numbers are fairly standard for outside major launches for the last couple of years. The numbers are fine. You don't dip down below 50,000 to the number 31 book, which was X-Men Black Magneto. Those numbers are fairly okay now. Comichron.com, where I pull all my numbers from here. It's the guy's name. Where is it? John Jackson Miller. So I almost said Joe Jackson Miller. He has a pretty good write-up here, and one of his write-ups is the performance of the mid-section of the charts. The 150th title shipped 17,305 copies, the third largest amount at that level in 20 years. The 20th place sold 12,184 copies, the fourth highest in that decade. The 50th spot, 100th spot, 400th spot, and 500th spot placed all hit 1-year highs. So while there are no dominant issues,
yeah, you don't have this huge jump, this fall off because of the variance in the top of the charts.
What you usually would see in the charts is a couple books doing crazy good, and then everything else just way down. There is more of a curve now. If you look at, there is more of this natural curve. There are more books selling in that 70, 60, 50,000 range that are kind of the sweet spots for the mid-list titles for Marvel and DC. Obviously, the big relaunches are going to be crazy. But, you're coming in at the 100th book, which 25,000 copies. That's within the realm of being fine. You like to see those big numbers at the top, but are they sustainable? Well, look at Spider-Geddon, look at Spider-Gwen. 2-3 years ago, those would have done 150, 175,000 copies. You're seeing just a reluctance by the retailers, myself included, to go huge on these books. Now, you're going to see it for Uncanny X-Men. You'll probably see it for Avengers 10 or 700. But not crazy, right? They're releasing a lot of covers, but there just isn't the oversaturation is really starting to hit on some of these. Now, variants are still a huge chunk of the industry, but these crazy high numbers, I think, are a thing of the past. Like, the numbers on FF, I don't think we're going to quite hit those again. I feel like Marvel kind of shot their wad. We have a lot of number ones. Marvel, I think last month was like 19 number ones. Is just a monthly
they're
thing.
They're back to the Marvel number one business plan.
Yeah. And, you're going to look at these weekly books coming up, and Uncanny X-Men, and now Avengers going back to weekly. Retailers really cut to the bone on weekly titles because it is difficult to adjust your orders. You'd rather sell out than get stuck with them because you can't adjust it.
Well, and there's no
multiple
returnability.
issues in. Obviously, no returnability. So, if you break down the top, let me get down to our numbers here. Overall units, this includes everything sold for the month, graphic novels, comics, and everything. Marvel is 37.89% of the industry. DC was 32.99%. Image at 12.64%. That's really good for Image.
Mm-hmm.
IDW at 3.74%. Dark Horse at 2.41%, and down the list we go.
What was Image at?
Image was at 12.64.
It's that reprint bump.
I know. I was just surprised the bump wasn't a little higher.
Well, yeah, it's because of those Walking Dead books. Overall dollar for the month, Marvel was 34.22% of the industry. DC was 30.48%. Image was 12.62%. Again, Image sticking up, the dollar and the dollar and overall unit shares are pretty similar, which means this is a month where there's like no shenanigans going on, right? This is a pretty solid month where it's just the books are selling what they sell. There's no crap going on where the books are being charged weird prices. Everything's fairly. We get so few of these.
Seems like lately we've got very, very few of.
Very few. There's always some asterisks on every month's sales charts where it's like, well, this doesn't really count because of all this other stuff. In the top 300, Marvel had 97 books, DC had 79, Image had 51, IDW had 22, Dynamite had 15, Dark Horse had 9. And again, if you're looking for dollar shares in the top 300, Marvel at 42.5%, DC at 35.79%, Image at 11.74%. So small drop for Image, but still good stuff. So big month.
Where was Mr. Miracle? Issue 11.
There was no issue in October. That would have been, I think, end of September,
11
right?
came out September?
I think it was end of
that
September.
long ago?
Yeah, it was probably the last week in September, right? And then the first week in November.
Yeah.
So there was no Mr. Miracle in October. Those are sales charts.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Let's do some questions.
Let's get them done.
I get back.
Did you get your live tweet out, by the way?
Yeah,
I did.
You did?
Of course.
Proud of you, Ryan.
Let's see. This is from Ulysses. Did you guys see the new Aquaman trailer? I did. Did you guys watch the Daredevil season 3?
Hell yeah.
Scott did. You haven't started yet, Charlie, have you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Charlie,
I'm about to have a few days off
Nadia.
of work, so hopefully I'll
Nadia,
get
get on this. Daredevil season 3.
I would like to get Daredevil season 3 done before the end of the year because I want to see if it's going to make my top 3 list for shows for the year. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I would like to do Iron Fist first, but I may just skip.
Why would you watch
Daredevil.
garbage?
Whoa.
Iron Fist 2 first?
Whoa.
So
I'm an Iron Fist fan.
yeah.
Watch Daredevil before you watch Iron Fist.
I like to watch them in order if I can, but yes, in order to get it done before the end of the year, I may jump and do Daredevil first. So, I started watching Sabrina. I watched the first episode of that. Really good.
Not bad.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I caught a clip of it.
If you can get through the first 15 minutes, you're fine.
Oh, I loved it.
First 15 minutes, I almost fell asleep.
I mean, it feels like an R-rated Riverdale. It's because it's an R-rated Riverdale. Is exactly what it is. So did you guys see the Fantastic Beast and the Crimes of Grindelwald? I have not seen any of the Fantastic. Is this a third one?
Second.
A second?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
First one was awesome.
Yeah,
and I don't watch Harry Potter
this
stuff.
one's not good. Oh, you said I love them both. So Ulysses liked it. Also, you guys are going to get the Before Watchmen omnibus. No, I don't. I mean, I like Before Watchmen just fine, but I'm not going to.
Nope.
I have no interest in
If it ever hits clearance.
Yeah. Cheap.
Nope.
Modog asks, I want to buy a bunch of Flash and Green Lantern comics, but unfortunately Ethan Van Sciver has worked on many of them, and I don't want to support him. What do I do? Well, Modog...
You don't buy them.
No.
Maniple.
Actually, you buy them from your local comp.
You buy them used.
Yes.
You can buy them used. That's an
Then
option.
he's not getting any more.
You gotta weigh... trust me, it's a tough one. But there is also the comics are really good, and it's Jeff Johns. All right, so this is a case where I'm going to go against my obviously anything going forward I would not support, but those are tough books to pass up on. It is a lot like the what's his face, the Chuck Dixon DC work. Some of my absolute favorite comics from the 90s are his work. I, as the creator, I will no longer support in any fashion. However, they are good books. It's a tough call. Obviously, you don't have to.
Used
is an option. Yeah.
Go on Amazon, click on the used tab, order.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually Brock's got a really good point. Yeah, if you buy them used, no money.
Because then you're supporting a comic book shop.
You're supporting you're supporting some guy who supported Ethan Van Sciver, but you're at least giving him some money back.
Your money's not
like a dick.
Your money's not going to him; it's going towards someone else. That's actually a good idea if you don't mind, book potentially being not in perfect shape.
I mean, it's Ethan Van Sciver work, so it's not in perfect shape to begin with.
Yeah. We
used to not say that.
M says
Charlie's trying to bite his tongue.
I gotta grind on Marvel Puzzle Quest. Leave me alone.
No, it's just.
Are you on the 5e node right now?
Yes. But no,
He knows what the fuck you're talking about.
There's like 3 people.
It is really hard to distance how great the work was and how much I loved it compared to, and yes, going for the used or something like that is a great suggestion. And yeah, it's one of those things where I don't even fully understand it. So
yeah, he's gone off the rails. Got a couple questions from M. He says, one, is Ted Kord alive? Did he ever die? Did someone bring him back to life? There was a Ted Kord rolling around in New 52, but kind of different character.
They had him in Rebirth.
Did they?
Yeah, he was in the special.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, in the
John special, he was in it.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't remember him. The New 52 one?
I think he was even working on the bug.
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't he doing something with
Lex.
Huh?
With Lex.
No, I don't think it was with Lex. I think it was with
that's the New 52 one. God, I don't remember.
No, he was in Rebirth.
Well, Ted Kord is supposed to be in Heroes in Crisis in some fashion. I believe that's what Tom King teased.
Okay.
And we'll find out.
We'll see.
He said, what are your thoughts on the plot by credit for Scott Lobdell and the current Nightwing? Why does DC include something like this and not tap the same writer for the script? The current arc of Nightwing is a fucking mess. Ben Percy, who was supposed to be the writer, was apparently fired or let go after issue 50. So they hey, Scott Lobdell, please come up with a script and come up with a plot in the next 3 minutes. We have to write a comic for next week. So I don't know. The current arc of Nightwing is oh my
just
God.
Hot trash.
Look, I think I talked about this a few weeks ago, where I'm actually now 100% convinced that Dan Didio hates Nightwing and the Teen Titans. So I used to think, that's just a thing people said. No, he just hates Nightwing and the Teen Titans. I fully believe it. The current arc of Nightwing is awful. I don't know what they're thinking.
Is it worse the one when when it was just Grayson and he was the spy?
Oh, Grayson's amazing.
Yeah, they're
Tom King.
Yeah,
Tom King and Tim Seeley and
soliciting the omnibus.
Grayson was pretty good.
Grayson's great, and
the little masks.
Oh,
spiral.
So good. Yeah. And Mikhail Hinin did on that too. Yeah,
they're releasing. They're re-soliciting the omnibus.
Yeah.
Of that.
So, can you think of a time in Nightwing history when it's been as bad as it is now? Because I got it for years, and it was. I felt like it was solid for years, and then really good at times. I did like Grayson. I was trolling you a little bit there.
I have every issue of Nightwing. I have every issue of every series of Nightwing.
Has it ever been this bad?
No, I don't think so. It's just so weird. It doesn't make any sense. There were not even the New 52 Nightwing. I could do without the red suit, but the New 52 Nightwing was mostly good. Grayson was really good. It's very different, but it's very good. Yeah, no, this is kind of the worst I think Nightwing's probably been in a long time.
Even with the rape stuff.
Well, that's different. The book was okay, but that's just a bad set of scenes. No, it's a bad time for Nightwing. M also asks...
It's not Dick. It's what's his name?
Yeah, Rick. M also asks thoughts on Mr. Miracle as a whole. Now, I think we're going to... Let's skip this. Let's talk about it very briefly after we wrap up the questions in case people don't want spoilers to the final issue. Question from Casey. Good friend
What's up, Casey?
Everyone knows Casey. Says, what games...
Casey with a C or K and a C?
It was a C. Casey that tweets me all the time and changes his Twitter username constantly.
And his picture all
Crazy.
the time?
Yeah.
I don't.
Settle down.
I don't Twitter.
Slow your roll here, Casey. Settle down. What games you guys can be playing during Thanksgiving? Any games?
Football.
Red Dead.
All right, yeah.
Hearthstone.
Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Marvel Puzzle.
Video games, not dumb sports.
Just don't want to
Scott.
get kicked out of the Alliance.
I'm definitely going to try to make some progress in Spider-Man. I picked it up. I'm going to try to start that soon.
Don't kick Charlie and I out, Rocket.
He also says, what comics you guys going to be reading? I'm just going to keep plugging away at my weeklies. I never have time for anything else.
I mean, I'm all caught up, so I'll just read this week's books.
I got to read. I got to take a day off.
I might try and finish Sandman up.
Nice.
It is the off season in Puzzle Quest, so I probably will have some time.
Mike asks, if Tom King wrote and Jim Lee drew a book and the guest star was Speedball, would you buy a Gwenpool comic? So if Tom King and Jim Lee drew and wrote a Gwenpool comic with Speedball as a guest star,
Obviously, this is just
absolutely
for
I would
you.
buy that.
Ryan would poop his pants
it's
first.
not even
run
a question.
home and change, and then buy the comic.
Of course I would buy that. I mean, it would be a little weird.
He would make sure to order 200 copies of the book so he could get the 1 in 200 variant that they put out.
Oh, hell yeah.
That had a Rob Liefeld cover.
The
No.
Linsner variant.
Jesus, no.
You'd get the Linsner variant on
On a more serious note, Mike wants to know if you could have any three comic creators in the podcast at once for a discussion, who would they be? So three creators all at the same time. Big round circle.
Tom King, Scott Snyder, and Peter Tomasi.
Stanley, Jack Kirby.
You're 0 for 2 so far.
Well, you said. I mean, I didn't know if we were going through time. And Jim Starlin, because they would be fighting on it.
That's a
Because he would be angry.
Jim Starlin?
Yeah, I like Jim.
Why would he be angry?
Some of those old Marvel guys, they just, things happened.
They were
and
marveled.
They were.
And they've never been the same.
But no, modern guys, you definitely want Johns and King on. Who else do you want on there?
Wade. But I'm not sure. I'm just Johns is
Zub,
Johns
Wade, and
is
Ross.
King Snyder.
I did it. I picked Charlie's list.
King Snyder and Johns would be
Chuck Dixon.
I'd have to kick somebody out of there for
Ethan Van
Johns, but I'm
Sciver
not sure who.
and Richard Meyer.
If you really want a good podcast, it would be Ethan Van Sciver, and then what's the opposite
worse.
side of that? Who's fighting him?
Anyone normal. No, you don't want that. You don't want those. You never want to talk to those morons.
You'd get. You know how many listeners you'd get?
Do you realize that we would get all the wrong listeners?
wrong
We would
listeners.
get all the wrong ones
yeah.
and constant trash.
Dan over at Southside Comics says, last week's, after a scan for the last 6 weeks of Marvel, 21 number ones, only one being a high-profile book for Uncanny X-Men. Is the new Marvel pumping out as many number ones as possible to retailers above their orders for the first issues, regardless of quality or demand? Got Marvel's number, Dan. You know exactly what's going on. That's what it is, right? I mean, number ones are this sort of weird unknown quantity. And
why do you think they're doing this Avengers #1 miniseries? It's attached to the Legacy. But we're confused.
Retailers will order more, customers will buy more, and very few will return for number 2. But at some point, those numbers just
the numbers
doesn't
steadily
work anymore.
drop.
Yeah.
That's the curve.
But yeah, these one-shots,
The Venom
specials.
curve. But if it gets really down to the bottom, then it can come back up again.
One would hope.
A lot of these specials and one-shots and everything, it's like they just don't...
Well, people came in for
Don't sell.
that Typhoid Mary Spider-Man thing.
Oh, who?
Like,
Nobody came in for that.
Well, no, people asked. They were like, what is that Typhoid Mary Spider-Man thing?
Yeah, nobody... Yeah.
I'm like, it's a book that Marvel published.
Yeah. Got a couple left. Cisco says, now that the new Age of Heroes seems to be wrapping up, they just officially canceled Sideways and Curse of Brimstone, which leaves
Damage, Silencer,
and Terrifics.
and Terrific.
Left. What 4 or 5 books do the round tablers think DC will replace the canceled titles with? Not what you want, what you think they will actually publish.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're going to do another DCU or all hero, whatever. I mean,
It's a tough one. I mean, we're getting the Outsiders comic. We're getting the Outsiders comic.
yeah, but that's naturally coming out of
Detective.
what's coming out of, or what's been going on in Detective.
Yeah.
So that one, it's not really. That one seems a lot better than like kind of the Terrifics or New Challengers, where it was just kind of, oh shoot, we got Metal's ending. Let's do it here. It seemed more rushed in that case.
Yeah. I mean, Legion's coming. Legion and JSA are happening at some point, but who knows how far out those are.
I mean, they might do another Ambush Bug miniseries.
No.
I'm trying to pick rando DC
I would
characters.
like to see them do like another Brave and the Bold, because they've had the team up books. They had like Superman, Batman. They had Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They had Trinity. Right? I feel like we're missing that book. We're missing that.
No, I think
Brave and the Bold.
I think bringing back Brave and the Bold would be a good thing, and just kind of make it a like you said, team up book, and let creators have some fun with the characters, and they can utilize different characters.
Yeah.
The last time they did it, it started out really good, but then it just kind of just crapped out because they weren't really. It wasn't a place where you could kind of. Creators could let loose.
Well, the problem is if it's going to be successful over the course of 12 to 24 issues, there has to be a string that goes through all of them, whether the characters rotate or not. So what's the string going through all of it that the characters and your editor is going to manage?
I guess you could say what they're replacing it with is Dial H, Wonder Twins.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Young Justice,
yeah,
and the Naomi book.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's pretty much what's replacing it. Is
4 of the 8.
They're instead of going, oh, let's try and bring these Brando characters, they're like, well, let's aim at something that people have enjoyed in the past.
My fear is that Young Justice is basically going to replace Teen Titans. Because what's the point of Teen Titans when all the Teen Titans are on Young Justice?
But the characters are different, though. Like,
yeah, but the relaunch or the redo of Titans is there's a bunch of like scrubs and a bunch of dumb new characters in that book.
I don't mind Adam Glass's Teen Titans.
It's okay. It's okay, but I don't give a fuck.
You just don't like plump, round characters. You're
Speedball and Bouncy Boy are like 2 of my favorite characters of all time. I love plump, round characters.
But they're not Speedball or Bouncing Boy.
Oh, but they bounce. Yeah, it's fine.
But they're not Speedball.
Have you seen Speedball in those old? We're getting the actual news. We're getting a complete Steve Ditko Speedball graphic collection.
Really?
Yeah. They're terrible.
They're just the
They're
worst.
so bad, but I can't wait. Super excited for that.
I will say that I did like the blue and yellow with all the bubbles and
yeah.
The stories were awful.
Oh yeah.
I liked
Bug-eyed voice.
Penance. I just was so sad.
Huh?
You can't bring you can't just make the happiest little character an emo
Speedball.
Yeah. Penance.
You talk about Penance? Yeah, no, Penance is terrible. But no, I love Bouncing Boy. No, it's
you hate Gold Balls.
Gold Balls 2.0 is no good. Jin's fine. I like Crush, but like, just give me the regular Teen Titans. Like, it should be it should be just what Young Justice is, and so it's not going to be. So they have
should be Wonder Girl,
Teen Titans,
Robin,
is something, and that's Young Justice. So
should be Wally, Donna.
But that's Titans. But then they made Titans. Again, I like Titans, but I wish it was like what Titans launched as. I love that Titans. They had Bumblebee on there. They had Donna. They had Aqualad. Like, yeah, give me that. That's my Titans right there.
Bumblebee?
Yeah, I like Bumblebee. She's cool.
Bumblebee's your Titans.
Well, like 70s Titans. I love those guys.
Bumblebee was not a 70s Titan.
She was in there?
It was like 80s, 90s.
No. Yeah, she was on the original team.
She's really tiny.
False.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I feel like this is false. We talking the Perez Wolfman run?
No, pre
that?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what the Titans book was prior. Again, you give me the Titans book with art by Phil Jimenez and fucking Devin Grayson's writing it. Oh my god! Like, why does the world hate me? Like, I was having the same problem with this book 15 years ago when they launched it.
It's the problem that has been with Titans and Teen Titans ever since its existence. It's you'll get something really core and good, and then they just fuck it up. Have you guys found it yet?
I don't know what Bumblebee's
you're
first
like the
appearance
slowest internet searchers ever.
Yeah, first appearance is Teen Titans 45. Yeah.
Did you just tell me what number that was? 45. That's not an Originals Titan.
Yes, it was.
Number 45? They rolled in Brave and the Bold before they even got their own title.
I know, but in issue 45 of Teen Titans from 1976, this is all pre, and this is when they had.
That's 12 years after it started.
But it's not the Wolf and Perez stuff. She appeared. So does Harlequin, and so
That's
does.
like telling me that Wolverine's one of the original X-Men.
I didn't say she was an original teen. The original Teen Titans were Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad. Those are the original Teen Titans. She was in the original Teen Titans comic book.
And then Wonder Girl.
Later.
In the next.
And like the second or third appearance. But yeah, she is from that series. Like,
he likes the Teen Titans.
Joker's daughter and
right before
Mal
Perez and Wolfman.
But because those guys I'm a
Perez and Wolfman guy.
Well, I like those too. But that original group was the people they made into the Titans in recent years. They're that link between the Teen Titans and the Justice League. So it's Dick Grayson, it's Aqualad, it's Donna Troy, it's
all the doubles.
Wally. Yeah, right. And I love those guys.
Yep.
I love all those characters. And they started this new series with a perfect lineup of people. The book never was 100%, Titans, but I really liked it. And now it's like, again, I still like the book, but like, Miss Marston should be on the Teen Titans book. I don't like Raven should be on the Teen Titans book. They basically need like a third Titans book to have like this group between.
They do. It's called Young Justice.
But Young Justice,
but it needs to. They need to.
Young
shift everything
Justice
around.
is Impulse.
And that's who it is.
And
so Young Justice should be the Teen Titans. You need a group of Titans between. So the Wolfman Perez Teen Titans need to be called.
This is why nobody likes these books.
The Wolfman Perez
Teen Titans West Coast.
Teen Titans West Coast.
This is how you end up with like 5 different Titans books.
Okay. Just do this.
Trying to placate
the Titans
Higgins.
is Dick and Donna and Wally and Aqualad and Roy and all those
The
guys.
OG.
OG.
Justice League Light.
Teen Titans is I mean you have to change Nightwing because Nightwing goes with the original, not the
right.
I mean, even though he is with the
So let's use Tim.
Right. So you use Tim on that Well, no, because Tim has to be with Connor and Bart. That's who Tim is with. So you put
where are you gonna put Damian
on the Teen Titans with Aqualad.
Damien-
That's like out of order, though.
But Damien on Teen Titans.
But he's on the Teen Titans right now.
He's not even a teenager. He can't be on the Teen Titans.
He's 13. You put him on the team with Cyborg and Beast Boy.
Isn't Cyborg in the Justice League?
Not anymore. It's Cyborg. Well, fuck. At this point, everyone's in the Justice League.
It's like the Avengers.
Yeah, you put it with Cyborg and Raven and Beast Boy, and you put and Starfire, and that is the Teen Titans. Because you could play those characters young.
Because they're the ones that are in Teen Titans Go.
And then Young Justice is
Impulse,
Connor, and
Damien.
And Tim Drake.
And Tim.
And then you bring in Cassie, and then you bring in those characters.
No, just switch Damien
That's
and
how
Tim.
it works. Because Tim's going to be with.
He doesn't know.
And Bart.
Hey, you just
They're
need
all-
to make sure that you get on an elevator with some TC guys so you can.
Like, hit the emergency button.
Look, elevator pitch this.
75
guys.
minutes later, we'll get this figured out.
They're like, this guy's crazy. This guy's crazy.
Did he just eat the wires on this thing to stop the elevator?
Matter eater, lad. Bloody Scott on Twitter says,
I think you really need a Legion book.
what non-obvious things should I buy in the DC Comicsology sale? You know, I haven't even looked at it.
Do you feel like
There's
pause
like
this? Hold
300
on
and some odd
on the sale. Hold on
Like
the
300
sale.
something pages.
Do you feel like if Jeff Johns could make a comeback in comics that he would do a really good Legion book?
He'd do a really good anything book. Yeah. Oh,
Like, can you imagine the scope that he could do for you?
He has done the best Legion of Superheroes since Crisis.
Which was in the action.
I mean, yeah, his action run in Legion of Three Worlds, it's exactly what I want in a Legion book. It's perfect. The Legion of Superheroes arc in Superman is among, I think, easily the best Legion comics ever made.
Call him up.
He doesn't answer my phone calls anymore.
Really?
No, that's not true. I don't know. I don't have a.
Hey, Jeff. I really like you.
I have his email address, but that's it.
Right?
But what's he going to do? It's like he's doing Shazam and other stuff. And the Legion will come when it comes. It's going to happen. But I want, we need a Legion comic. But
What do you want on that?
This DC Comicsology sale.
Yes.
What about it?
There's so much stuff. I haven't even looked at it, so I don't know what.
I haven't even looked at. How do you know there's so much stuff?
I looked at it and went, wow, there's like 300 pages of stuff.
Oh,
Awesome.
okay.
That's a lot. So Comicsology, digital.comicsconspiracy.biz has
Are we at the end already?
insane deals for Black Friday.
Black Friday, they have insane deals.
Insane. And they've already started. So if you buy comics digitally, you should go look on our digital website because there is like
DC has about 300. It's 300 and some odd graphic novels that are on sale.
for like $3 to $5 a pop.
Yeah, for like $3 to $5 a
digitally.
pop. Tons of single issues are on sale.
99 cents a piece.
For 99 cents a
Yeah.
piece.
Thousands.
yeah,
And they
and-
do basically
Well,
every company
you can
has
get you can get most of the Sandman stuff for
Yep.
$5 each. You can get so the Tom King Batman.
Yep.
You can get Infinite Crisis, Identity
Yep.
Crisis. I believe Final Crisis was on there. Multiversity.
Yep.
Day Tripper's on there. The hilarious thing is this: I went through going, okay, I put stuff in a cart and I was like, wait, and then I went and checked my library and I was like, oh wait, I already own these. I just own different digital versions of them. Like it's a previous version.
Yeah.
So when they reprinted it in the stores, they just
Different version.
They did the different version online.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Some good Batman.
One last question here from Arnabon. He says, Infinite Crisis Omnibus or Final Crisis Omnibus?
Both. Save it up.
Infinite.
I mean, I even may go Infinite. That's an Infinite Crisis Omnibus. See, here's the thing.
I'm saying Infinite, and I hate Superboy Prime.
Infinite Crisis Omnibus has better material. Final Crisis is amazing, but the rest of it's not.
No. The only
really-
stuff that's
it's
really
okay.
solid in it is Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds,
And
the Rogues, the Johns' Rogues, like a couple of the minis, but most
fine.
of it's just
But Infinite Crisis Omnibus is
Yeah, we got it right here.
solid start to finish.
You can
It's good
order
run.
it through comicsconspiracy.biz.
So I just
Well, one of you can.
I just pulled
it's
it
a
off.
race.
I just pulled it off our shelf, and you could kill a guy with this, like
It's
pretty
huge.
easily.
All those DC omnibuses are ridiculously big.
It's massive.
How's the binding though? Have we?
New one's supposed to be a lot better.
So the new one is better.
It looks pretty good. I mean, it's bound like each issue. I mean, bound through the whole thing. But if you look at the binding on it, it's each issue is bound.
Yeah, but they normally. It's
Yeah.
this. It's. I don't think it's glue. It's not sewn.
So it is better than the old binding, but it's also a bit tighter than the old binding.
It's pretty common.
$150.
Yeah, all the DC's omnibuses tend to be 150, and they're humongous.
I mean, massive. I mean, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Kill a guy, work out with it.
Let me lift that over your head.
The
Do
Silver
some
Surfer
squats.
omnibus, the slot one, is
Yeah.
really decently priced.
Yeah, it's 100, right?
No, it's 75.
Yeah.
75
Yeah, it's out
bucks?
this week,
Yeah.
They also announced they're going to do a companion piece to the Jack Kirby Fourth World Omnibus that is Jack Kirby's Everything Else Omnibus. So it's going to have like his Demon and Sandman and all that other stuff.
Superman's pal.
I'm so
that's
glad
all-
I haven't bought all the other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all in
That's all in the
it's all in the
fourth world.
Fourth World one. Yeah, yeah. All right, that is it for questions. We're going to talk Mr. Miracle here for just a couple minutes. There was a big series that a lot of us were following, and I really need to do some deep dive and reread the entire series start to finish. But I had a couple thoughts on the final issue, and I wanted to run by you guys, see what you guys thought. Now, who is Scott? You have not read this?
He's caught up on this one.
Oh, you did read this, Charlie?
Yeah.
You read?
It is the only comic book that I am caught up with.
Because you knew we were going to be talking about it.
Correct. I read the last 3 issues today.
Well, again, if you read it today, so you may have a better, it's very fresh on your mind. There's a scene in the final issue. Well, I mean, the final issue revolved. We're not going to talk about the entire series. I'm going to focus on the final issue. A lot of it has to do with Mr. Miracle kind of seeing the ghosts of his past and friends and enemies in some cases. Kind of talking to him about his life. And there's a scene in it that really breaks down to them talking about the DC universe and how they're not a part of it. All right. Did anyone else get the feeling when reading through this issue that the implication is that Scott and Big Barda are on our Earth, or a version of the DC universe that is not filled with superheroes, at least?
Yes. That's what I took from it. So I'm like, okay, they're here. I mean, and you kind of get, it lays the groundwork, because there's at no point when they're on Earth, I mean, they have friends, but they're here.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, again, there's a play on heaven and hell and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of references to superhero stuff, but if you really look back at it, they don't talk to or about any superhero stuff. They're just, he's wearing all the T-shirts, the graffiti design T-shirts, just like we do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He gives the Batman plush toy to his kid.
Batman kills babies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's just a plush toy, right? I mean, that's the same plush toy we sold here at the store, right? These are all actual products that exist in our world.
Heaven.
Right?
Here. Heaven.
Are we heaven to the DC universe?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I took it. That this is not supposed to be. Now they do. Now doesn't he runs into Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, but it's
No, not in this issue.
No, in one of the other issues. But it's just people he knew. It's Ted Kord and Michael
Carter.
Yeah. They don't, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't reread that issue since I read it, but they don't I want to reread it with this thought in my head.
And to see if it matches.
Because I don't think they talk about being in the Justice League or superhero stuff, because they're not in costume or anything like that.
I'm trying to remember back to like the first issue, because the first issue is when
he dies.
Yes, he dies, but there's all sorts of scenes around when he dies and then wakes up in the hospital, and like there's a lot of character interaction there between him with people in his mind plus other people, but I don't remember who exactly.
No, I don't remember who it was. It's going to be interesting, because when I finished the last couple issues, it started to make it clear that they're in a separate spot altogether.
Yeah, I mean, it's very implicit from the final issue that they are not part of the DC Rebirth
because you
universe.
see the whole collage
where they are.
Right.
They are with that universe.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who was talking to him when he says that, but they're like, it's the continuity and these rebirths, and it doesn't make sense, and there's all these changes, but that's not you. You're here. Like, this is the real world, right? So, I'm
the thing is
very much paraphrasing here. But
it's also, I mean, it could just be how he escapes. I mean, all of it could be in his mind.
It does.
Because each scene in this each kind of little nuance, like little thing in here is, Apocalypse is hell.
Yeah.
Right? Like, heaven is this.
Well, they never go to. Yeah, and they
right.
never go to New Genesis, right? I mean,
No,
they're only
New Genesis.
ever in Apocalypse and Earth.
Yeah. So I think that, but again, I mean, we started out Mr. Miracle where he's committed, he tried to kill himself.
Yeah.
And in that issue, he's slightly not all there mentally.
Right.
And so it's because the thing is in those early issues, he's talking to Oberon.
Yeah.
But Oberon's not there.
Right. Well, he was dead at that point. Right. He had died, right?
Yeah. So it's like, what's... And the transition from issue 11 to 12, where you kind of... It whites out at the end of 11.
Yeah.
And then we're just kind of dumped... And I think this is really really well done on King and Gerard's part is the opening is an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like that opening page is an audience. So it's like, are we watching this?
So then, did you read that there was a little clip and a guy was trying to explain some stuff about how the influences of like Kirby and Stan Lee were actually on the comic and they were actually characters.
Well, Funky Freeman is Stan Lee,
Lee,
right?
yeah.
But that's a Jack Kirby thing that goes
right.
back.
And then Jack's one of the other characters. So I don't remember what the other character was. So Funky is Stan.
Yeah.
And Jack was one of the other characters.
Okay.
I don't remember what his name was. But that was kind of an interesting concept too, given everything that's come through.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to reread it now with this thought in mind to see if my kind of theory holds true.
You can reread it in a trade paperback because the motherfuckers aren't releasing a deluxe hardcover edition of this.
Oh, they will.
They will, but they need to release it first.
I'm holding out.
They're not telling you that first. They're going to give you the soft one, so you buy that.
I'm not buying it.
Then they're going to give you the next biggest size one because, well, it's nice. And then they're going to give you the
question is, will they give us a absolute or a deluxe first?
They'll give us a deluxe first.
Yeah, deluxe first, then absolute down the road.
Charlie's like...
So...
Tobias has entered the building.
Yeah.
This is not normal.
And he's picking up...
he has Charlie's X-Men Adamantium collection.
Edition.
Thing weighs 80 pounds.
It's making him feel
like
really
I said,
small.
I told you guys that the omnibus could kill somebody.
Yeah.
This could kill an elephant.
This will kill him on the bus.
Or Charlie.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle. What a series.
I mean, the thing is it's such a great series. Like overall, throughout the entire thing, all the themes that are running through it with.
So I thought two things. Number one, it's if you want to think about it like we just were talking about, heaven and hell, and is it real? You can do that.
Yeah.
But if you just want to take it for surface value, it's still a really good story.
Yeah, but
Dark Side and a veggie tray. Come on.
yeah. It really until issue 11, it is pretty straightforward. I mean, so one of the big things, even going back as far as the very beginning of issue number 1, and it was again when I got to read that preview copy.
Oh yeah, that was
just the panels. I mean, it just continues through the whole series. But when that first issue hit the panels that are like, it's like a VCR kind of stutters, right? Like there's like that judder on the image. You really sort of question where you are and where these characters are when you're reading that. It's such a unique visual idea for a comic series to really make you really question.
Are you watching a TV show, or is the TV show watching you?
Well, when it at first they're doing it because he's on the show, and you're thinking, okay, this is supposed to be emulating.
It's like that. It's like
show.
New 52 Animal Man, where he's in the movie and we see him like in interviews and stuff.
But when they have the judder thing like go across his eyes, that's when you're like, okay, this is something different. This is implying something different. And then it starts happening outside the show, and that's in that first issue. And that's when you know, like, okay, there's something off here. This is like, you know, if you use the VCR analogy, right? Like, is this this has been like recorded over something else, right? Or it's been rerun through the tape so many times that you start to get this artifacting. Yeah, you start to get, like when you run that VHS just over and over and over again, it starts to like kind of warp and be weird. So
some of our listeners aren't going to know what that is.
Hopefully they do.
I'll figure it out.
I still have a VCR in my garage sitting there.
Shut up, really?
Oh, dude, I have so many like old concert tapes that never were reissued on Blu-ray or DVD or anything like that. So I'm like, I'll keep this in case I ever want to watch them.
You're never going to watch
I have
them.
some of those VHS that have like the clamshell case, not even like the sleeve, like the full-on like plastic clamshell. Hell yeah. I got tons of those still.
You are never going to watch them.
That's not true. Shut up,
true.
Leanne. What are you talking about?
Is that what your wife says?
Maybe.
Never. You just aren't. It's not going to happen.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
Just purge it. Get rid of it.
As we sit here and we're talking about, Miracle Man and other stuff, I'm looking at our Facebook group. Our people post some pretty good stuff every now and then.
Occasionally. Yeah. What they post is good. How many memes were posted today?
Pete Lannon just posted a Neil Gaiman tweet.
Nice.
Neil Gaiman said, Bill Maher's just trolling, and lots of people are rising to the troll.
Oh.
Julie Burchill did it better 30 years ago with her, there aren't any adult comics because adults don't read comics. And then he said, more people cared about Stan Lee's death than care about Bill Maher alive.
Yep, that's all right.
So there you go.
Yeah, I don't want to waste 2 seconds on Bill Maher.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
There's some stuff that Bill Maher I enjoy listening to, but that was ridiculous. I mean, totally ridiculous. He has no clue what he's talking about.
No, he does not. He's an idiot.
Do you think the T-shirts in the last issue that Mr. Miracle were wearing, or Scott Free were wearing, were teases to what might be coming down the pipe from Tom and Mitch?
What were they? I don't remember.
Was that Starman? The circle. With
he was wearing the
star,
Starman shirt, huh?
And then he had an Adam Strange.
Yeah, I did see the Adam Strange one. Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
So I'm just saying, on Twitter, I'm just saying that when they were talking about stuff coming up, I was like, and Adam Strange is your next project, right? Because there's no Adam Strange book, and you guys are doing an awesome Adam Strange book. So if they do Adam Strange, I'll take full credit for that.
Oh, and I also wanted to ask everyone's opinion here. If you were to get a DC kissing statue, one of the couple statues of Big Barda and Scott Free, what pose would you like them in?
I'm assuming you're implying you want the pose from this last issue where he's like wrapped his legs around her.
Well, there's that one, right? Where she's all shut the fuck up, like, right? And he's all. Or somebody on Twitter actually said that they would like it where Barda's just sitting on the couch and Scott's laying down in her lap.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Which would you, out of the two, which would you pick?
Couch.
Yeah, the couch one's a little better. Yeah.
The variant can be the.
Yeah. He's got his legs wrapped around her.
That was awesome.
That was pretty funny. All right. We are going to wrap up. If you got any thoughts about Mr. Miracle, you can post about it on the Facebook group or send us a message.
Is Facebook working now?
Yeah, it's back up. Yeah, it's back up. Yeah. We'll have, I'm sure, more to say about Mr. Miracle.
Just reading off it. Our people are posting
in the coming weeks and months. Our end of year episodes will be in a few.
Gotta do my homework.
In a month and change.
I have to read a short box of comics in a week.
Spoiler: I'm sure we'll be talking about Mr. Miracle a lot during our end of year episode. So in the meantime, thank all our good friends from Patreon, the backs at the higher tier levels. That would be Julian Titus at the Nerds with All Pants podcast at pixelbit.com. Ryan Hess, who heads Blowhards. It's a video game podcast at blowhards.libsyn.com. Jody Lawson is Canon, the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudios.com. You can go over there and read some comics on his site from the Triad Comic Studios. Sam Shea, Craig Anderson, Joe Duff, Andrew Nelson Mendez over at the Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast, Darfox 8 at Maga Machinations, Larry Davis at the Stand and Deliver podcast about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Page Turner's...
I finished Daredevil Season 3 and it's the best Daredevil on all of Netflix ever. And all the Netflix Marvel shit doesn't hold a candle to Daredevil Season 3.
And...
Yes, you and I are on the same page.
Page Turner's a comic book podcast at pageturnerpodcast.libsyn.com. I'm sure
not letting Toby interrupt
they probably agree with you. I'm sure the Page Turners agree that the Daredevil Season 3 is really good. That's what I've heard. ComicSpiracyPodcast.com, Geekbox.net, and iTunes, where you can find all our previous episodes and rate and review us on iTunes. It always helps. YouTube.com/ComicsConspiracy is where you can find all our previous episodes of this podcast.
And if you subscribe and hit that like button.
Yeah, in YouTube format if you like listening to stuff on YouTube. And every now and again, throw some other videos up there that we do. The Comic Conspiracy at Geekbox.net is our email address. If you want to send us some long-form questions or your thoughts on Mr. Miracle, you can send them there. Patreon.com/ComicConspiracy. For $1 or $3 or $25 or whatever, you can kick us, help us support this podcast if you don't want to pick up some comics from us. Of course, if you'd like to buy some comics, there's always digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That is our digital storefront. Like tens of thousands of comics on sale right now as part of the Comixology Black Friday / Cyber Monday deal.
Change that, they'll have actual different sales on Black Friday.
And then Cyber Monday.
Kind of just like
the pre-sale.
The pre-sale stuff.
And there's already crazy amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can buy actual comic books from us. Now,
like an Infinite Crisis Heart on
I don't want to promise anything.
Uh-oh.
But I've heard Comic Hub is at the final stages of getting its sales functions active. They want it ready for Black Friday. Cyber Monday is Monday. Cyber Monday would be a great day for us to test a sale
online
on our website. I cannot guarantee this will happen. I would like it to. If you check out comicsconspiracy.biz on Cyber Monday, you may find our selection of physical comic books that Brock will happily pack and I will happily ship to you on sale at very reasonable prices. And if it's not, then just buy some at regular price. But there's a chance they may be on a nice sale price, so why don't you check that out on Monday?
Why do I get the sneaking suspicion on Monday that you've already planned to
Ding dong,
stuff?
ding dong,
This is me. Ding
ding
dong,
dong.
ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Okay, I'm kind of hoping that we'll sell some stuff other than comics. Too.
Oh, yeah, we have toys and statues and all sorts of good stuff on there.
Yes.
Conspiratobrock.com. That is Brock's blog, video pull list, and statue unboxing videos these days.
I've been doing good. I've been doing good. I need to get up
Get a couple Harleys to go.
Yeah, well, I have to do the Philip Tan over again.
Yeah.
Because we had the beheading.
Yeah. Hopefully this one's better.
This week I have 2 new Harleys to do.
Nice.
But, yep.
Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast. That's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. 13's going on strong. Now, Charlie, before we get out, what's this rumor that Ryan Scott over at Geekbox was telling me last night that they might be out at the end of this season, that this is it? Or like they want to do like 6 more episodes and that's it?
No.
Didn't hear anything about this?
I didn't hear anything about that. I mean, the only thing that's been going around is there's not going to be a Christmas special this year.
But there is a
the
New
Year's.
Year, right? Yeah.
And that they confirmed that there'll be a new series next year.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of rumor going around that they were going to take next year off.
Yeah.
And they're never going to do a spider episode again, right?
Hopefully not. As usual, Ryan Scott's stupid. Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wife's Etsy store. You should
And I mean, ratings-wise, they've never been better in modern, basically.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea.
Is Leanne going to get anything new up for Christmas? Or
Haven't a clue. She's been
she
working
has that Shazam print, though.
very hard at work. Yep. Went up a little while ago. Ryan Higgins, Ryan. That's myself. I'm on Twitter. Brock is Brock Sager. Our good friend Bryce, who was on last week, is at Larson Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. You heard him just yell at the microphone and say how much he loves Daredevil Season 3. Charlie right here is Insanity and Chaos. Scott is CS Shea. The store is Comics Con Store. Please follow all of us on Twitter and then unfollow me after you see all my garbage political tweets. Geekbox, Comedy Button, Manga Machinations, and then the Infinite Binge over at YouTube. Those are some other stuff in our
If you
little...
don't want the political stuff, you can follow Comics Con Store.
Yes, that's just when I tweet on there, which isn't very often. Those are other podcasts and YouTube videos on our little network. It'd be nice if you checked them out as well. Thank you all for this episode. For listening to this episode. Have a good Thanksgiving. Have a good Black Friday. Be safe. Don't get trampled.
Or shot.
Have a good Cyber Monday. Goodbye.